Hey everyone, welcome to Remap Radio episode. Huh? Chia, what episode is it?
107. Thank you for continuing this bit.
It makes me never feel... remember. I could just.
It makes me feel seen. It makes me feel wanted.
It's like use my preferred pronouns and ask me what the episode number of Remap Radio is, and we're fine. That's just respect.
That's like
basic humanity in an increasingly inhumane world.
Jeez.
Today. Today is dark, but is it true?
Yeah.
Today I'm joined by, as you just heard, our producer Chia Contreras, fresh from the border. Chia Contreras.
I went to Canada. I have a fucking...
We'll get into that. We should talk borders. We all had some border encounters recently. And Janet Garcia, also fresh from a border, but this time from Germany.
Hello.
As always, we are a reader-supported show and website. If you enjoy Remap Radio and wish to become a supporter, you can learn more at remapradio.com/sign up, or just click the orange button in the upper right corner of the website. Our subscribers let us keep doing the shows, the streams, and articles that define Remap. I did kind of want to start little, subscribers of Remap have I thought it was going to be like hour, 10 minutes, 3 hours, of course, 3 hour long travel podcast about me going to Europe and discovering that Europe prefers stick shift in their basic economy cars.
Amazing.
So plenty of that to come on the week after Labor Day. But like a little commonality between all three of us, I was, in London and Paris. Janet, you were in Germany. Kato's love of Netrunner took them to Canada, because where does it not? It takes them to Philly. It takes them to a random comic book store in LA as you're prepping for E3, and people wonder, where's Kato? Teaching Netrunner to people down the street. And this time, took them to Canada. You were a little spooked about driving in and out of Canada for fully understandable reasons.
From two different angles, it's great.
I was relieved when you messaged me at one point on Monday in a response to a schedule question. It was like, oh, I'm driving back from Montreal, which at least seemed to indicate to me that you made it back from Montreal and back into
the city.
Into the city or the United States
in
some capacity. But what were you there for? You have to explain why you were there, and then also if anything notable happened on the journey itself.
There was the Netrunner America's Continentals Championship, which is the big event that covers South, Central, and North America. Just like everyone's supposed to travel out for this.
But
and they did. They were.
Oh, it's Americas.
Americas, right? North America, Central America. It's the Continentals. The Continental Championship.
Oh, now, okay.
We just stole the name of, no, we're America, though. It's like, well, we're all the Americas.
Say that, I mean...
They're like, yeah, well, we're all the Americas. Mine's a little different.
Yeah.
No one will confuse this. Don't worry about it.
It was a great event. Huge, great turnout. I played against... It's very funny. I played against a lot of people from Europe that fucking flew out, which is wild, but also at least twice against people from New York. Like, oh great, we crossed the border and now we're playing Netrunner against each other. See you next Tuesday.
Wait, did you see people you knew?
Yeah. Like, this is the thing, is like there's incredible. Like a solid 10 to 15 people who regularly play Netrunner, and I'm like at those meetups and organizing and stuff. And like I dodged most of them during the tournament until the last 2 rounds where I played people from New York. So it's like, oh well, it's still fun. But the big fuck up of the weekend that led to the most annoying thing. So the whole idea, the part of the reason I was convinced to cross the border, is that I have a couple friends in Burlington, Vermont that are part of my Netrunner testing group. It's when you get a bunch of people... It's a
beautiful sentence. I just want to compliment you on that sentence, that's a fact as part of your life. Beautiful.
Yeah. You get together, you test decks for competitive viability, then you go to tournaments as a team, which is our team is, shout out to Creating the Message, or it's all queers. And in particular, the two
yeah.
people who live in Vermont are both trans, and they say they make the border crossing on car like pretty regularly, and it's like nothing's really changed yet. It's kind of the same, still like slightly annoying, but kind of the same as it always has been. And I'm like, okay, so maybe
in the way that like coming across the border and like the invasiveness of checking people's social media or phones appears to have happened if you're like flying more specifically.
Right. So it was like, okay, maybe we're still in like maybe this is one of my last chances before shit gets even worse. So
at this point it is worth assuming
it's not getting better.
So we should panic buy travel, is what you're saying.
And so we hatched this plan where basically me and one of our other local teammates, we're gonna drive up to Vermont on Thursday night. The event started on Friday, but so the drive from their place to Montreal is only like 2 hours, so it would be easier to be there on Friday morning, drive over in time to get there in time for the event, than try to leave all the way from New York, because that's like a 6.5 hour drive.
I've become, side note, a believer in. My wife pitched me on this idea with some other trip where I think we're going to Minnesota for a family thing, and that's, with kids stopping, like you could do it in 6.5 if you're hustling, but it becomes 8.5.
Easy.
It's like, what if we just did like 5.5, 6, and then just stopped? Like,
just got
in the early evening, like got dinner.
Yeah.
Like, went to a hotel, and
got
then
a little
only had to do 90 minutes in the morning refreshed. Like, ooh, I like this idea. And it was wonderful. It was like a much better way to do like what can otherwise turn into a, 2/3 of a day driving trip.
If you have an extra day and like
if you budget in the
funds,
extra day,
it's like worth it to arrive fresh than like at the end of a very long drive. I agree with that totally. Well, what we had was like, since we have friends like so close to the border, we can save ourselves a night of hotel by staying at their place that night before going into Montreal, right? So we're driving, it's good, we're taking our time. It's like, well, there's no rush since like the event isn't until tomorrow. It's normally like 6 hours. We leave around 1. We're supposed to get there at 7, but we stop for both lunch and dinner, and like kind of like whatever. We're hitting there 9:30.
We'll get there when we get there. It's just more important that you get there and sleep and get up the next day more than anything else.
It's fine, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm scared.
The famous last words is when someone says, "It's fine" in a casual voice and clicks their mouth.
We're moving things from the rental that I got to our friend's car because we're like, we'll just take your car in. We'll leave the rental here in Vermont, not have to deal with them asking like, whose car is it? Which is a thing that they ask sometimes.
I guess that makes sense. Like you could probably get a rental across a border, but
it doesn't actually matter. It's just one extra thing that can be like annoying to have to deal with at the border. So we're moving things into their car. I'm looking through my bags and I realize, hey, where's my passport?
Oh my God, Connor. Like the one thing. You can forget anything else. Anything else is replaceable.
The funny thing is, those really big IKEA bags? Like the really big ones, right? Like you fit a lot of shit in there. Like let's say, I don't know, 6 to 7 board games. As I'm moving this giant bag of 6 to 7 board games from my rental to the other car is when I realize that I've forgotten it's like I've gotten everything else I could possibly have and more, right? The one thing that I forgot is
where did you have the passport? Like originally, just like it wasn't stowed somewhere specifically. It was like is this like grabbed it out of the dashboard and like put it in my pocket and and then as part of moving this bag, I nudge it and it falls out sort of situation?
No, I don't know. I don't know what I did.
Oh, you don't know?
Wait.
Okay.
I don't know what I did.
Now it feels like you're on trial.
Yeah,
you don't know where you keep your passport.
What are you hiding?
I'm hiding the fact that somehow in my packing, in grabbing all the things I think I need, I just simply forget that a passport is a thing. Okay. Like I just simply it was when I got You
know what you need to do? I don't know. Well, this is maybe not a most common experience. Like we talked about this when we traveled. And my wife's solution to this was we bought a because we had 4 of them, right? Like mine, my wife's, the both kids, and so she got like a zipper pouch thing for all of them that also comes with a little AirTag spot, so that if you leave it, right, like with an AirTag, if you go out, if you say like this is a place I'm at,
right,
and then you leave it, it's like whoa.
Hey, you've left this
Where
thing
are your passports?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, as someone that has had a lot of experience working with Chia, I worry.
But that happens all the
time.
I
didn't think about this, but this should have been a high-level concern for me to worry about what you were doing with your passport. Because this makes sense. Like, I have to make a top 5 list of things that could humorously go wrong that I hope work themselves out.
Yeah.
Losing your passport would have been...
Right.
1 or 2, like really
well,
high
forgetting
up.
it. Were you confident that you just forgot it at your apartment, or did you feel like you had to dig through your possessions to see?
No,
if it was
yeah.
there?
The second that I looked through my bag and was like, it would be here, I was like, oh no, I had the thought I should grab it and then just didn't. Like I knew it's just in the spot where it lives at home. I call my partner and ask her to look, and she's like, yep, it's here. Like, it's there. There it is, waiting in New York. New York City.
Is it worse to know exactly where it went wrong, or to have a little air of mystery?
Yeah. No, I'm glad. It's worse to not know for me. For me,
well,
I
also, I guess, given
anxious.
the recent, like, all the work you've put in recently to like get all your paperwork changed amidst like all the bullshit going on.
I haven't done that one yet. Actually, that one's still old, which is funny in its own way. But so much for saving myself a night of hotel. That night at 9:30, I begin the drive back to New York City.
No.
Look,
like is there an alternate way to get across the border?
Yeah, like is there any way your like partner could like meet you halfway, or I guess like a $3,000 Uber or something?
No, I mean the funny thing is that it wasn't really halfway though. It was only like 2 hours versus the other 4 that I had to drive. Basically, the only other way to get across the border without a passport, specifically between not New York, but the U.S., Canada, and Mexico, is you can actually cross the border with an enhanced ID.
The real ID.
Right? No, different.
Different.
I'm like, oh, I have one of those, and I look, and it has a little star. And the star means real ID. However, that does not get you across the border, and I'm lucky I looked this up. It's enhanced ID. Enhanced real ID is a ID that has a star and
Xbox
a little
Game
American
Pass
flag. Yes, exactly. The
also,
Xbox
you get
Series
access
X
to cloud saves with the government. So when Doge wants to access your social security number,
100%.
they can just pull it off the cloud.
100%. But like, yeah, so it's a second tier of thing, and I was like,
a second tier of ID is the trip.
For a second, I was like, oh, I have that thing, don't I? And I look it up, and it's like, no, you don't have that thing. You thought you had that thing. You're just gonna have to drive.
It's they only briefly sold the steel case edition at Target, and it sold out really fast.
The thing about the enhanced ID, I started Googling it now because I'm like, that's kind of cool, like to have an enhanced ID. Ooh, but I feel like I'd be so paranoid that it wouldn't work that it wouldn't really save me anything.
Yeah.
I would never use the enhanced ID.
You'd rather have the passport, which itself has
this is
an
the
extra
thing
degree
now.
of stress, but it's a separate piece of identification than the one you're going to use for everyday stuff.
Well, the thing that I'm probably going to end up doing too is they make passport cards, where it's like a card that you can fit into a wallet or like a card holding like whatever, that is as good as your passport.
Just no stampy?
Yeah, it's like you can use it wherever. It doesn't have the whole book thingy. Right, and it's just a card that, like a driver's license.
That sounds like a scam.
It's real,
but also
passport
if
cards.
I lose it, like I feel like losing your passport though is like the worst thing that can happen to you.
The point of this is that you can have multiple copies. You have your physical passport's book still, that's staying at home safe. I keep the passport thing in my wallet and just walk around with that. And if I ever lose that, that's not a big deal because I still have my original passport, right? I always have it on me. So if for whatever reason I need to prove my citizenship to someone on the street,
which is becoming increasingly likely.
Yeah, I can. So without having to carry the book around, right? So this is the thing I'm looking into. And unfortunately, if I had gotten on my shit, would have already had, but did not. So
you cannot use the passport card to. Okay, so this is only land border.
Yeah.
This is only Canada and Mexico. You couldn't use this to. You had this. You couldn't use this to go to Germany.
No. But the big thing is like walking around. Hey, I'm a citizen.
Right. This is like where I keep my.
For now.
We go to like a little arcade. In this, it's a pretty whack mall, but it has like two things that we use it for.
Yeah.
And one of the things is playing the basketball machine at the arcade.
Oh hell yeah!
And it's at the point where I used to just bring it when I know we're going to the arcade. I'll bring the card, but so many times I would forget it. Now I keep the card on me all the time.
Keep it on you all
it's
the
the
time.
same concept.
Right. 100%.
I'm always ready to play basketball at that one location.
You never know when you're gonna need to just prove you're a citizen.
Shoot some hoops.
Side note: Montreal is on their fucking arcade game. In like a 5 square radius from the venue, there were like what I would call the equivalent. Like there were like 5 Dave and Buster equivalents, like size wise, of like arcades.
What are they called there?
There were different things. One of them was called the. Oh fuck! It was it.
I just want to know what is
one of them was called Three Monkeys. Like the see no evil, do no evil, like the 3 monkeys.
Is that a chain?
Oh.
No, I don't think it was.
What
I
is
think
the equivalent of the Dave and Buster's? Like,
right?
It's fine. At least it's an arcade.
This is the thing is I think they were all independent, but they were giving Dave and Buster's energy as far as like the thing. None of them were open because I was only around them when it was like early.
Where were you? I want to look up this venue and see what's around.
Montreal. Well, the venue was just the Best Western Harmony or something. Or
there's definitely a Dave and Buster's in Canada, so they have Dave and Buster's up there.
Yeah,
as a country.
Like, one of them was called like Arcade with a K, Arkade.
Arcade Amusement on 1386 St. Catherine Street.
Yeah. No, but there's one
Arcade MTL, which I assume is just Arcade of Montreal.
Montreal, yes, exactly. Yeah, 100%.
The Fun Hub? Did you go to the Fun Hub?
Is that the one in the mall? Is that like 5 blocks from the Best Western? Because maybe
this is classified as an amusement center.
Yeah. No, that's what it is. It's an arcade though. That is what that is. There's like a bunch like there.
I think a central play box. There's a bunch around.
A ton. I was like, what the fuck?
Is this like?
I guess people be going to arcades here.
The equivalent of like, why are there 20 Italian restaurants on this block? Because three went in and everyone else wanted to compete for the foot traffic.
Yeah.
Like what's in the water in Montreal
where going on?
We're making arcade games.
But anyways, before reaching Montreal, 9:30 p.m. on Thursday night, having confirmed that my passport is still in New York, I begin the drive back towards New York City.
Your whole plan to be rested has now resulted in a plan in which you'll be more exhausted. And then had you done plan. Because now are you just going back and then turning around and coming back?
Yeah, so I drove 3 hours, got to Albany. It was around midnight. Got into a hotel, put the music on Remap Radio 107 and uploaded it from the hotel. A thing I was just going to do at my friend's house.
Thank you, Hotel Wi-Fi.
Yeah, thank you, Hotel Wi-Fi. Got up at... I think I left by 6:30. I got up at 6, yeah. Drove to New York. Hit New York around 9:30-ish. Grabbed some breakfast with my partner. My partner had plans to go to Beacon, which is a small town in the Hudson Valley, a couple hours north by car, a little faster on a train. But she was like, well, if you're going north anyways, and I looked it up, it's like, it's directly on my path. It will add like 20 minutes for me to drop you off. That's totally fine. So at least I had some company for the first 2 hours of my drive back. And then from there, it was a solid 7 hours, because I'm just like, okay, now I'm just going straight to Montreal. Because the other thing is that I put the hotel under my name, so like there was no backing out at this point, even if I wanted to. I didn't want to. I was like, come hell or high water. I took the time off. I fucking rented this car already. Like I will make it to Montreal. God damn it!
The sunken cost fallacy, baby. It's taken me many places.
But the big thing was that the hotel room for the 4 of us was under my name, so I had to be there with my ID and everything. I was like, this has to be done. So luckily, drove up, made it at the border. Really funny, like the little questionnaire, like "What are you doing?" or like "Why are you here?" Very, very terse, very quick, trying to catch you off guard. But I just said, "I'm here to play a card game in a card game tournament." And he's like, "Can you be more specific?" And I was like, "I'm here to play in the America's Continental's Championship for Netrunner." And he was like, "Oh yeah, some people have come through." I'm like, what? Excuse me?
Nice.
Apparently, enough people had passed by this specific guard.
For those who come after, kind of type vibe, yeah.
For those who come after. On the way into Canada, totally chill, fast, kind of curt, but like honestly, not giving the worst vibes. I was kind of surprised. I was like, oh, that was less scary than I thought it would be. Had a great time at the event. It was awesome. Came in 54th out of 100.
Nice.
Dead center of the pack.
Wow.
Made mistakes because I was tired. Like there were like things I reviewed. I was on stream one. We rewatched that game and was like, the fuck was I thinking? Like it's just like, wow, those I had so many unforced errors. And like I definitely felt it by the end of the day of like, damn, if only I hadn't had to drive an extra 12 hours.
If only.
Maybe I would have been like sharper for this event. Well, anyways, I had an amazing time. It was super fun. Had poutine for the first time.
Poutine? Oh, poutine
How
was
was it?
delightful.
Delicious. Gross, but delicious.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's what
like
it
some
sounds
sauce with like
It's Canadian nachos.
Canadian
gravy.
Are they nachos?
It's gravy.
No, but I mean
no, it's
in spirit.
Right.
I
It's
feel
gravy.
it's
I'm not a
spirit.
big gravy
it is
guy.
a bed of fries with a thick gravy and cheese curds, which is like little.
Oh, the cheese curd's good.
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends on the place you go to, but like
It's really the question on poutine is how you feel about gravy. Ultimately.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, because it's slathered. It's soaked.
It's what
almost.
makes it come to it's kind of the ingredient that makes the whole thing work.
We went to a local chain that was like people were like that one's good, like it's a good chain. They had my friends thought I was going crazy when I tried to point out multiple times something that looked like the size of a 2-foot like platter filled to the brim with poutine being displayed on a TV, because we sat outside and in the window of the TV of the Poutineville there was a large TV kind of advertising their wares, and every time I would be like, look, it's the giant poutine, they would turn but it would have cut away. By that point they're like, there's no such thing, it's not real. And then eventually we see it again. It's the funniest fucking thing because the poutine is on screen for like, I swear, like 1 second, but what the cut is, it cuts to what looks like a white, some sort of fabric, a red cross, like a medical cross on white, and it slowly zooms out to reveal a man smiling in like fake medical garb. And then it continues to zoom out to reveal him.
Did Remedy make this?
What? Did what?
Did Remedy make this?
Yeah. Holding this gigantic platter of poutine. And we realize, turning through the menu, that they're advertising their poutine called the Heart Attack by making this man wear a doctor's costume while holding their giant poutine. But it cuts so quickly after like it hits the like full thing that everyone was missing the poutine. It's like, this is mostly a shot of this man in this medical garb, which is very funny. But yeah, it was awesome. It was super fun. And lo and behold, on the way back, the really like, I was like, this was easy on the way into Canada, of course, because it was a Canada card. And on the way back, it was like not technically any harder, but the man was just very rude. Like, I don't know, it was like all like in tone and like sort of I guess body language. Like, gave us a real hard look when we gave him our names because, well, we're both trans and we both had passports with our old names on them. He's like, and like did the thing where you hold it up next to the person so you can compare the photo next to their face in real life.
But didn't ask any like
follow-up questions, really, no. And like asked about like where we were coming from. Didn't hear about Netrunner, apparently. Like not the other card. It's just like a funny, like the Canadian guy was like curt, but like, you know, like at least polite. This guy just like it felt like he was having a bad day. I was like, what? Okay, it's okay. We're just crossing the fucking border. But we made it through. Like nothing happened.
Well,
it just took.
I was
longer.
Low-key stressed about that.
Yeah.
The less I heard about it, the better I felt. But yeah.
It took longer than the other way around, which was weird. I like. Also, on the way.
You said car the whole time? Is that how it works?
You just stay in the car. Like you don't even leave. You just hand them the documents. They ask you the questions from there. I think every once in a while, like if for some reason they need to, like they pull some cards aside to be like, you get a more thorough inspection or some shit. But you know, I was driving alone on the way in and just with one friend on the way back. On the way in, like there was a line, like there were like a lot of cars, and most of them were Quebec license plates and stuff. So I was like, I got behind a line, and I was like, taking a while for each car. Excuse me. So I was like, damn, I wonder how long it's gonna take for me. And I like get up to the front, and they're like, blah, 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 like question. I was like, nope, yes, okay. And they're like, okay, go on through. It's like, damn, okay, why for some reason every Quebec car that stopped was there for like 3 minutes, and it took mine 30 seconds, which is like, cool, I guess.
I think it's because, like, you know, obviously this might mean less and less as time goes on, but like you're still like a U.S. citizen, so I do think it's easier.
No, the
like,
other way around.
Oh, so like you going
the
into
Canadian
Canada,
crossing guard.
You went fast,
yeah,
and then on the way back, you said it was slower.
No, Yeah, exactly. On the way back into it was harder to go to enter the country where I'm from than to enter the country where I'm not from. Yeah, I don't know why Canada was just like, yeah, I guess you're American. Maybe it's that they can't really check because it's a different country, but maybe they go through the extra effort of like, if you say you're Canadian, we have the power to check the database or whatever or some shit. Maybe.
Oh, like a more thorough, like they can do a more thorough like background look or something.
Right, like they can look you up in the system. But for America, it wasn't even that. Like he didn't even like turn to his computer or anything. He just like really read through our documents like real slow and like asked questions in a very like stepped aside manner. I don't know. He just really kept us there for much longer than we needed to be, just kind of in silence as he like looked at things. We made it though. It was fine.
Did you encounter any weirdness crossing between? You were flights instead of in a car, but like anything notable on that front?
Nothing too like interesting. I was really worried going to the event because like I've never gone to Gamescom, and the world is like much more aggressive than it used to be. But my PR point of contact was like, no, it's totally chill. Like, you don't need any type of like visa or anything, even, you know, on like because I followed up on it because like I forgot if I told this story on Remap, but like my colleague Haley tried to come to Minnesota for our community meetup / we were all gonna hang out and kind of just like do some, you know, vlogs and stuff. And she was denied entry because they felt like she was working. And even if she said, well, what if I like guarantee that I'm not going to be on any content, I'm not going to do any recording, I won't be on anything, I'll just go there and hang out with my friends. They're like, well, we kind of already feel like you're going to work. So you got to go home. And don't come back here. Because if we find out I'm not going to be here, but if we find out you're here again, we can like basically ban you from the country for like 3 or 5 years or something.
Aggressive
so obviously she
didn't... Like I might be on like a vlog about a community meetup.
Yeah. And it was like just a really like intensive process too of like, well, what counts as work? And they're like, well, you being there benefits your employer, so it doesn't matter if you're even doing like direct labor. But yeah, it was yeah, it just really sucked. And then they were like searching our stuff, and they're like, "Oh, do you have some chips in there?" She's like, "Yeah, I brought some chips from Canada to share with my friends." And the agent was like, "Oh, that's really nice of you." She's like, "Well, I can't see them now, so like what the hell?" Oh anyway, God, so after that debacle, bleak. I was pretty worried, because if they're coming for white Canadian women, what chips do I have? You know what I mean? Like, I'm scared. That's when you really gotta that's when you really gotta feel the fear. But no, my point of contact was like, it's totally chill. At one point, I think they are going to implement more of a visa structure for like something like Gamescom, but that's years away. And that's a very popular conference, and that like a lot of the like agents know about that so if you say I'm here for Gamescom, they'll know what you're talking about,
right?
And they might even ask you like, "Oh, what games?"
I just got lucky. My guy knew what we were talking about, because nobody fucking knows what Netrunner is.
I pulled up and I was like, "Yeah, Gamescom, video game conference," and they were like, the guy was like, "What's your favorite game?" And I was like,
"What'd you say?"
I was thinking, I don't want to talk to anybody, so let me go through. I said Jack and Daxter, and he said, "Oh," and he kind of looked at me in a like, I'm like, "Oh, I must have answered incorrectly." And then he said, "What's your favorite game from this year?" And I was like, then I was thinking, oh, like I heard the little dial-up music, like in my brain, and I was like, "Oh, Clear Obscure Expedition 33," which granted, fake ass sounding game.
Sure.
I gotta be honest.
Sure.
And that was kind of it. He was like, "Oh, okay," and then go on through.
He didn't clock either of them.
I think he might have known both of them, but he just didn't.
He judged.
He was just like collecting data. Like I think he was looking at.
Yeah.
And also, I'm just trying to get through my. Not to mention too, like my blunder, if we're sharing about messing up stuff for travel, is. There may have been a flight booked for me that I put in my Google Calendar, my holy Google Calendar. Without my Google Calendar, I'm lost, right?
Sure.
It's like I copy and pasted it straight from the email because I'm like, I want it to be detailed, have the flight number, And I just kind of, I had a lot going on these couple weeks. And I kind of forgot to update it when they said, "Actually, we're putting you on a slightly earlier flight." So my whole day I was like preparing to like go, and also I couldn't check in. It was a Condor Airlines. You can't do online check-in for some reason. Maybe if you download their app, looking back on it, because they were advertising their app when I got there, but
sure.
Yeah, not even a kiosk. You got to go to like a person. It wasn't on the kiosk. So, but the reason I bring in the check-in is I always check in on my flight the night before, because like who doesn't at this point, right?
Sure,
you put it on your little Apple
early,
thing.
You get the notification. Here we go.
Super easy. But that's kind of like the fail safe that I have, right? Because like when you like check in, you see and you see everything, right?
That's
and
right.
if I would have checked in, I would have seen, oh, actually, it's like earlier. It's like, and it was only like an hour, I think, earlier than I thought it was. So TLDR has worked out fine. But the thing is, I was planning to get there like the wildly early, international flight
3
vibe
hours,
time.
like plenty of time to.
And the second I was leaving the door, I said, "Let me just look one more time at the itinerary." And I said, "Oh my god, it's a different time." Okay, well, we just have to go, and it's like it's close enough that it's like I can still make it, and it could be fine. But I like didn't tell my fiance for like a while because I just didn't want. I can't share this. I'll have to just see what happens. I need to know how it turns out. And if it turns out bad, I'll be like, I gotta be honest, I messed up. And if it turns out good, I'll just say, who needs to share everything, right?
the most stressful. I've had moments at LAX. Are we going out of LAX?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the most stressful part of getting to LAX, if somehow you die, like you're okay with the traffic getting there, but then the amount of times I have gotten stuck on the ramp, like to get out to the departures, where you are it's just a crawl. Like you are a quarter mile from where you need to be, but you can't get out and walk. And although I've seen people do it, I've seen people literally, if they're gonna miss a flight, they will just. Fine, give me a ticket. They'll just walk up this like highway ramp thing and make their way over. But it's that like you're watching like on your phone. It's like, well, you're 6 minutes away. You're 8 minutes away. You're 12 minutes away. You're 50, and it's just like you're watching your body, like your soul leave your body during.
So
that.
I was stressing on the drive as like the time went like, oh, it's gonna be this long, a little bit longer. Like it's always a little longer than you think it's gonna be going to LAX. But we did kind of plan to get there pretty early. And it's funny because my fiance's like, "Why are you so stressed?" Like, "You're going to be there still so early." And I'm like, "It's not as early as I thought I was going to be." I don't want to say anything. I was like, "I'm just going to take this." But it turned out fine. But I was worried about that. But going through LAX was like super, super fast. Shout out to LA Airport. I was also really stressed because my colleague, Ana Diaz, flew in from JFK and she said it was like hell on earth, that she was there for like 3 hours. But I kind of felt okay about that because I'm like, if it was really going to be that long, I was never probably going to be safe anyway. So I'm just going to see what's going to happen.
Right.
But yeah, no, it was very fast getting my boarding pass. They did have to check my bag because it was really heavy. And my brother's like, you didn't weigh it? I'm like, no, I never weigh it. In my mind, if it fits in a carry-on, unless you're bringing like a stone statue, that should be the weight that it is. But no, that's not true. So whatever. And yeah, and going through security was like very fast. So it was like all actually really easy. And then the gate was like hella far away though. So I did end up like, I'm like, just to be safe, like, what if we ran for like half a mile to the gate just to make sure. But then I slowed down a little bit outside when I knew, okay, I have a couple minutes left. Because I'm like, there's a chance that I see people there that I know, and I don't want them to see me sloppy.
Why are you sweating?
So I was like, no, I'm just going to walk in. I was still sweaty, but it was like, oh, it's such a long walk. They're like, yeah. And I'm just like thinking, oh my God, like I kind of might have fucked up. The way back was fine, but it was like messed up in a different way that wasn't like on me, which is fine. And it worked out because I got on the flight fine. But I noticed, I'm like, the train, like I took the flight direct to Frankfurt in Germany, and then just a train from Frankfurt to Cologne.
Mm-hmm.
The train's like an hour ride or something. But on the way back, it was like not much time. It's like you get on the train, like, and the train like leaves you in the airport, but like obviously you gotta like kind of walk a little bit. And I think it had me there an hour before the plane takes off. Like not like boards, like takes off. And I was like, I don't like that, but y'all booked it, y'all know it, you book a bunch of people. And also they're like, hey, if something happens, just like, we'll just rebook you on something else. I'm like, hey, like, we're just going to see what's going to happen. And it turned out fine, but like I had to.
It feels aggressive for customs. Like if you had like any semblance of a real line, you would have been effed.
Yeah, like that is so small that like I think I'd barely do that on domestic. I kind of cut it close a little bit with domestic. Like I'm pretty chill because I also often fly out of Burbank if I can, which is like literally. It's like the equivalent of walking into a mall going on a plane there. It's like very tiny. There's almost nothing there. You walk in and you can almost see your gate from when you walk in. Like that's how small that airport is.
Wow.
But it ended up fine. Like the line for like check-in was like gigantic. They did have a separate area for like if you're going to LA, but it was still like a big crowd. But like thank God one of the workers was kind of going around calling the LA people and like pulling us towards the front. Still took kind of a while. And when she handed me my boarding pass, she very calmly said, run. And I went and she does that to everyone who had that LA flight. She's
like that fucking
run?
song. Run.
Yeah, run. Dun, dun, dun. So then I was like, oh God, I hope I know. Like she's like, you're gonna go this way and then this way and then this way. And I'm like, I mean, there's signs everywhere, obviously, but I'm like, okay, like, then I get in line for TSA and like the line to even get in eye shot of the security line was like not short. But I get through that, I see the security line. I look at my Apple Watch. I say, ain't no way in hell. And then I think, you know what I should try? I should just ask one of the workers, hey, like my flight's like taking off really soon. Like, is there any way I can kind of like jump ahead, But fully for them say, I'm sorry, you got to be here on your shit. Because I feel like in the US, they'd be like, you're supposed to arrive at the time. This is not my problem, You
don't have to ask.
Like,
In the U.S., you'd be asking like the passengers and just desperately hoping nobody clocks you. Like
they're like, you can ask other people, but not me. But no, she was super true. She's like, yeah, business class, and I was like, oh, like I can just go. She's like, yeah, just go through that line because there was like no one there. So then I was like pretty close to the front. The lady in front of me was also the LA flight, but she was giving like hella attitude to TSA. It was crazy. I was like, I would never do that. You're out of your mind. Like she was like pushing back on the bin. You know how you put your thing in the bin? She was like pushing back on the bin. And she's like, you have to talk slower to me. You can't. And I'm just like,
well,
she could. I'm like, you're insane because the TSA agent could literally just like grief you a little bit here, and you would miss your flight. So why would you? Why would you do this?
Power to just say you have 90 minutes before you like leave this little spot.
Yeah, I don't know what that lady's problem was. I'm like, I'm worried too about missing this flight, but like it's in God's hands now. So then I get through the thing. Of course, my backpack gets pulled aside for the little special search. And the guy's every like time. Very thorough.
Every fucking time.
I get caught up on, I have one of those combs where the end has like the splitty, like the pointy splitty thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of giving like stabby stab. It's not what I use it for, obviously. But he pulled that out.
You could in a pinch, but
just toss it.
And I said, yeah, you can just throw that away. But he was like, let me talk to my coworker. I said, sir, you can just throw this away. And then basically it ends up being fine. And then he says, next time, put it in your checked bag. I was like, cool. And then he gave my stuff back, but of course they always give it back to you. It's all like to show.
Yeah,
so I'm kind of putting the stuff back.
You gotta
But at this point, I'm seeing my watch. I know that like it's not too bad.
You've made it through the hard part. Like the stuff that was going to truly like throw off you getting to this flight, you've scampered over those challenges.
But after the TSA, there's still border, right. Like the border thing.
Oh no!
So I was like,
right.
when I was so once I got the thing, I started running, and then I saw there was the border thing. I said, oh gosh, another L. But luckily the line was pretty short, and they just were like, cool, boom, stampy stamp, or whatever they do. They like give you your passport a kiss. I forget what they do there, and then I keep running, and then they're like, oh, like LA, and then I go through like the next like little thing. I scan in, and then I see a guy, and he's like, oh, this part of boarding the plane is for like the people that have money. You go through the other one, and then I was going to the other one, and I saw a door. It said like, don't pass, whatever. I'm like, where is this other part of the plane? He's like, oh no, it's right there. And then I go there, and I get on there, and I'm on the plane with, I think literally I board the plane 5 minutes before the gate closes.
Terrible.
But I was there, so
you made it.
You know, it
Common
worked out. I was
Janet
like,
W.
I thought they knew something that I didn't, and they kind of did in a way. Again, I probably still would have been like, you can honestly just let me live in that airport for the morning. That's chill for me. I wouldn't have minded that, but that's not how it was booked. So yeah, it worked out, and now I'm here. And I think the jet lag might have kind of fixed my sleep cycle low key, because now I can sleep at like 9 or 10 p.m. and now I can wake up early and feel fine. So that might have shocked my system back into equilibrium, but I'm sure in a couple
reboot.
yeah I basically hard rebooted my like
what time
sleep.
Is it in Europe right now?
It's like plus 13 hours from now, I think, something like that.
So you're waking
London
up
was
at
6, Paris was 7
6 from you though, right?
Yeah,
so
like right now it's
2, right? Yeah,
it's 8 a.m. in LA and it's 5 p.m. in Frankfurt.
So you're just sleeping in Frankfurt.
Yeah, well, I tried the little hack of the like time lapse app where it tells you what time, and like that was a little bit off because I didn't account for the fact that
time lapse.
It's called Time Shifter is the name of the app.
Shifter.
What is
it? Useful.
It's an app where you can put in your flight like information, and they'll tell you like I think it starts about maybe 3, maybe even 2 days before you take off. They tell you like when to sleep. Like you give them your regular sleep schedule, like when do you normally sleep, when do you normally wake up, what's your flight details, and then they tell you like when to sleep and wake up based on that. And they also add in light exposure and light avoidance. So I was doing stuff like the hour before I went to sleep, I'd put my sunglasses on inside my house just to like have a dimmer like nighttime experience. And then I would sleep. The earliest they made me go to sleep with that app was maybe like not too early, maybe a 9, maybe even a 10 o'clock. It really wasn't that early, but I was waking up like the day I went for my flight. I woke up at like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m.
Sure.
Like probably 5, honestly.
That's the bit that like really shifts you a lot, is like getting up earlier.
Yeah.
Like really.
The only con of the app, in my opinion, is it doesn't account for the fact that, because it's like, oh, get on the plane and start sleeping immediately. You have to, like, for a flight like that, they feed you, so you kind of have to wait until after you eat to sleep, or else you wouldn't have eaten for, like, ever. And also, you might have gotten woken up by, like, the agents and stuff. So that's the only, like, thing that I didn't, like, love about it. And it also doesn't account for anything outside of, like, flights. So, like, I had a train coming back in, and they kind of, like, didn't really, there was, like, no way to really account for, like, well, I can't, like, sleep during this, like, I'm, like, on a train, like, actually. Even my plane's, like, later, but my train's earlier, but it was really good for the way there. And the way back, I just decided I'm just gonna, because the flight was like in the morning, I'm just gonna stay up the entire flight. I watched 4 movies.
Hell yeah.
And I played A Last Day of Spire, and I still didn't kill the heart, which is bullshit. And then I just stayed up when I got home. I haven't done all 4 for like regular, but I don't really care about doing all 4 for just beating it. I've beaten it with the Slayer, the Silent,
the Slayer of the Spire,
whatever, right? What's his name? What's his fucking name? I don't know. The red guy, Ironclad.
The red guy, Ironclad. Yeah,
Ironclad.
Silent.
The Silent. Who's the third person? Is it Orby? AKA the automaton or some shit? His name is like the automaton. His name is Orby. Okay, so I didn't do it with Orby or the Watcher, aka Mael. Okay, that's Mael. So we got the slasher, the poison guy, Orby, and Mael. No, I only beat it with the first 2.
Oh,
and now I'm just working on the heart. I think
you gotta do it with the third one for reasons.
Like, For reasons?
Yeah. Go do it.
Okay. Oh, fuck, should I have been doing this whole time? Was I wasting my time trying? Okay. Should I do it with all of them?
Not really.
Before, like...
You don't need to... The fourth one was added later.
Okay.
And it's more of like a bonus class after the fact.
Okay.
Just do the third one. Just finish the third one.
Because that'll be hella easy, because the runs I've been having with Orby have been incredible. I finally... I was avoiding him for a long time, because he's kind of complicated. But, like, oh my god, I had a run so good, Chia, that I was like... When I was in the run, I was like, I know I probably won't win.
Sure.
And this L is going to destroy me, because I had, you know what pisses me off? There are times where you have a run so good, I'm like, I know someone smarter than me could have done so much better than I did, but no. I'm only me. But I'm only me.
Have what I have.
The fat hand, I think, is what killed me, because my hand was sick. It was 30 cards, Chia. I got to be honest with you. They never gave me a chance to get rid of them.
Wow.
But they were all amazing. I had energy carries over between things. I gained an extra energy automatically each turn. I forgot why. I think I took some debuff. Like I couldn't drink potions or anything. I had
potions?
the hand. I know the potions aren't really that useful. I had I think I also had the hand expander, but I don't remember if I had the hand expander as well. I had so much stuff, and I had things where it was I had a couple cards. These were my key cards that were the do X amount of whatever, but when X can get super high,
right.
I was like, oh my god,
3.
Yeah, but what they had me fight the guy and could never kill. We call him the dog in our house. I don't know what he's actually called.
The dog,
the awakening guy,
the awakened maw.
Yeah, whatever. He's the music goes
whatever. Sure,
and he's there with his fuck ass on his he's he looks like a dog, kind of like a fucked up dog, and then he does this stupid I'm reawakening, and it's basically fucking doing 2 bosses back to back. And the thing that killed me was
Rend the awakened maw. I think that's what it's called.
I just could not. I never pulled at the very end. I got him really low.
That's an OC. Forgive me. I don't know what it's called. I'll find it later.
I got him so low, but at the very last hit, I just did not have anything to block. I had no way to pull more cards. I just didn't have enough to block, or if the big damage cards never came back. Which again, I know with the thinner hand, it's just so hard because
it's just awakened one. It just reminds
you form the strategy so late. It's just I can't. Yeah. Anyway, it's been going good though. But okay, I'll win with Orby, and I'll tell you what happens.
Right, awakened one, which I always think looks kind of like a weird maw, because maw's one of those early ones that's just like a mouth, in the
maw, MAW maw.
Yeah. Right, Slay the Spire maw. Hold on, this is.
Yeah, I know this guy.
And so the awakened, kind of reminds you of, but the awakened is just one of the cultists, right? The ones with the the ones that go caw.
Oh, yeah, I guess he is. I never thought about that.
Yeah, he just turns into this weird beast.
But he's awakened from.
Yeah.
What do you think? Does that mean he's the head of the cult, or he realized the cult is a cult? Is he the woke one?
No, I think the woke one. No, I think he's one of the cultists that went through all of the rituals until he turned into this, and didn't get killed along the way by us.
Well, that's some beautiful lore right there, but yeah, okay, sure. Me and Orby, I can probably knock that out today. I feel like the game is, now that I'm working on this other thing, the other part of the game seems so easy. I'm so you tell me you don't have to go on this fucking key quest, and you can just live your life. Anyway, but
no, you gotta do the key quest.
But yeah, it was all good. Patrick, did you have any kerfuffles on your journey?
Honestly, the spookiest part about the traveling was applying for the global entry and sitting in a room blasting Trump immigration propaganda before you walk into a group of police officers looking folks that are like, what do you do for a living? I'm like, definitely not part of a media organization raising $100,000 for Palestine. No, I wouldn't do that. I am a writer. I write. Oh, cool. Yeah, I've always done writing. All right. Stamp. Okay, you're approved. You can have your global entry. It was fun. In the UK, we landed in Heathrow in London. There was nobody in line for the border crossing. It was just 2 women chatting about their lunch. They didn't even look at us. They just like handed over the passport, scan. Okay, have fun in London. I was like, all right, okay.
Nice.
So it was relatively painless. No one asked what we were doing, why we were there. I assume part of that is I have 2 kids, so
yeah,
I assume that. I have to assume that is a bit of a cheat code.
You're definitely not smuggling those kids.
No, but like I didn't. Like I went out of my way to buy like some really mediocre French-made whiskey. That was being sold at this grocery store across the street from where we were staying in Paris, and it's like I probably have to declare that at some point, right? No one asked. Like I just walked through, like just here, bye. Like no, you're not gonna ask. Okay, all right, bye, I guess, and that was it. So it was relatively painless, which I think is actually an interesting transition for the one news topic I wanted to touch on this week, on whether it's been painless for the indie games industry in the the consequence of Silksong getting a release date of September 4th.